Hello guys, my name is Daniel and in this video I want to show you step by step how to use National Institutes of Health body weight planner to first determine your caloric intake and then how to adjust it so you gain weight without excessive amounts of fat. If your goal is to improve your body weight and muscle mass. So let's get started. I hope this will be interesting for you. Well, so the first thing that you will notice when you reach this side that you have imperial or US and metric units, you have also expert mode. So I will use expert mode here because I see changes right away. So first things, I will use kilograms and centimeters. My current weight is 61 kilograms. I'm male, 29 years old, 175 centimeters. Okay, here we go. This is actually the part where many people make mistake and they are not sure about it, and this was the case for me as well. Physical activity levels. So the thing is, if you just want to find out your BMR or basal metabolic rate and then add your activities, that could be potentially more precise, but these estimations, once you get them right, it can be very valuable. So activity level. By default it's 1.6 and it can go from 1.4, which is sedentary, up to 2.5, which is very active person. But how do we know if you are 1.4 or 1.6 or 2 or 2.5 even? So 2.5 would be super active person who is physically like a professional athlete, I would say, but also a person who has a physical job and trains on top of that or exercises. So let's see, when you click on this estimate your level, this will help us. And here, when you hold it here, it will show you actually like this tooltip. For example, light industrial work, sales or office work that comprises light activities, heavy is heavy industrial work, construction work, or farming. So how I describe this would be for me very light, sitting at computer. This would be like below 5,000 steps. Light industrial work, sales or office work, that would be maybe between 5 to 7.5k steps. Moderate cleaning kitchen stuff, that we are getting from 7.5 to 10k steps a day, or I mean that is the equivalent, and heavy would be above 10,000 steps, which is my case. Currently I'm in moderate. So now to describe my physical activity at leisure time. Here once again almost no activity at all, very light activities, walking, no strenuous, cycling, gardening, approximately once a week. That would be really nothing. Moderate, regular activity at least once a week, strenuous activities several times a week. Probably most people who exercise like 3 to 5 times a week, you would choose active. If you are exercising about 60 minutes and a day for 5 or more times a week, and these are also some hard sessions, like 3 to 4 times a week, I would choose very active. You can always change it in future, but this would give you a good estimation. So you see physical activity level 2.2. So that was a moderate plus very active. Here. So I have my weight set at 61 kilos, goal weight 61. So there is no change here, as you can see. But once now I change it to, I put it 65 kilos. Okay, what you want to consider now is like how fast you want to reach that goal. Because is it possible in 180 days? Well, anyone who whoever gained weight and struggles with weight loss will tell you that I can do that in 2 days. So our capacity to gain weight is almost unlimited. However, our capacity to build muscle mass is limited. And that can be from 0.25 to half a kilo a month. And half a kilo would be like if all the stars are aligned, if you are young guy with a lot of testosterone and a lot of capacity to build muscle mass, so you are just starting out. For me, in 6 months, 4 kilo, no way of muscle. Thing to consider is that when you are gaining weight or when you are building muscle, you will also increase your fat mass. So you will not build at any time only muscle mass. So how I would approach this is we have 2 months per kilo. So that would be, for 4 kilos, would be 8 months. So let's make it 10. 10 or 11, sorry. That's 300 days, 10 months. Okay, so that's 5th of January. You can also choose through calendar. And physical activity change. This is optional. What might be interesting for you, like if you are doing now a lot of cardio, you want to build muscle mass, cardio doesn't help you in building muscle mass, it helps you regulate fat gain, possibly. So if you are doing a lot of cardio and on top of that you are adding strength training and you are walking a lot, what you could do actually is you click calculate here. I plan to remove light walking for 30 minutes once a day. So that is minus 3%. So we are actually saving some calories. So that would be like if I am currently walking 2 hours a day purposefully, I can limit that by 30 minutes. And this will save me some, maybe 100 calories. But I will remove it here, so we don't have skewed results. Now, here are my results. And these numbers that you see here, they might scare you because they are really, really high. Okay? One thing what you need to do, or what I would really suggest you to do, not only look at these numbers, but actually take 5 to 7 days of your food log, food journal, where you eat like you would normally, and then make an average of that. When you have that average, you can compare it with this number, which is like your suggested or calculated caloric intake for weight maintenance at your current level. So I know that at my current level right now, it shows me it should be 3131, but in reality it's about 2.5. So I'm like 600 calories different to what this calculator tells me. And this tells me that I've been under fueling to my potential. And what I mean by that? It means that my metabolism got adapted. I'm not expending as much energy as I should. Maybe there is another metabolic slowdown in other parts, like it may show in my blood work, like maybe lower testosterone and so on. Anyway, so we want to cross-reference this. If there is such a big difference, like in my example, like 600 calories, then I actually, for weight gain purposes, it's kind of optimal because I will be increasing calories, and for that reason I might not need to go up to 3.3k to start gaining weight and build muscle, but all I might need to do is to get here, and I should be already gaining a lot of muscle, because this is actually 600 calories about my actual real intake. So I would not even go here. Realistically speaking, I want to add just 100, 200 calories, then see if I'm actually gaining weight. How often I would track this? I would track it like my weight every day, then run weekly average, but make changes after 2 weeks. So each 2 weeks. So I will add 200 calories, for example, and stick to that. After 2 weeks, readjust if needed. So first analyze and then readjust. So if I'm not gaining weight, even after I've added more calories, then I will add another 200 and another 200. So this is the process, because the point is that if you have trouble building muscle, like if you are the kind of person who does either a lot of cardio, who strength exercises, who is very active throughout the day, and you are like an ectomorph, or you identify as an ectomorph, it actually doesn't limit your potential. It's more psychological effect. So people who we could say that they are ectomorphs, so these are the people who have trouble building muscle. They say like, it doesn't matter how much I eat, I'm still very lean, and it's really troubling for you. Well, what often happens is that these kind of people, like myself, when you increase your caloric intake, you also increase your energy expenditure. So you start moving more throughout the day and basically being much more active, and even increase your energy output. Of course, this doesn't go to infinite, but maybe while one person needs to increase their caloric intake by 500, you might need to go even up to 1000. And this I cannot tell you, the calculator will not tell you this, your specific circumstance. This is something that you find out, how I described to you, by trial and error. So this is what you can see. Now, in this experiment, you also see this kind of simulation of the body weight, like how it would go up over the course of 365 days. You can play with this, but I hope that this gave you some insights how to actually change your calories, how to determine them first, how to change them going forward. Then, of course, important point is, remember, to build muscle, you need to exercise hard. So exercise accounts for about like 75% of your results. So you need to strength train, you will probably need to limit cardio, and a good ratio strength to cardio training would be 1.1 up to 1.2 maybe. Again, there are personal differences here. So if you are doing a lot of conditioning work, a lot of cardio work, you would better limit that. And I know that psychologically it's very hard, especially if you really love to do a lot of it. But if your goal is really to build muscle, then focus on it, focus some block of time on it. You don't need to go for 300 days as I have in this example. So you might go, or your goal can be to build, let's say, 2 kilos, then maintain that weight, start doing maybe, give yourself breaks, start living your normal life while maintaining that weight, and then once again go for another 2 kilos. So in the end it might not be 300 days, but it would be double that time, but it might be more enjoyable process for you. Besides the exercise, then you also want to consider your macronutrients, and for that, safe way how to do that, how to basically split your calories into macros would be get at least 1.6 up to 2 grams protein per kilogram of your body weight. And I assume that I'm speaking to lean individuals, because usually lean people want to add more muscle. If you have like a lot of fat, about 20% for men, about 30% for women, then you don't need as much protein. Okay, so, or in other words, you don't want to consider your body weight because you have a lot of fat. So 1.6 to up to 2 grams of protein. We know that 1.6 is pretty much the cutoff, but it's not dangerous to go about that. When it comes to fat, go with 0.5 up to 1 grams per kilogram from fat. So if I'm 61, that means like, let's say 30 to 61 grams or even 70 grams of fat per day. And the rest would be carbohydrates, or based on your preferences, you can also add more fat, but we know that for gaining lean mass without extra fat, we want to preferentiate carbohydrates. Carbohydrates will also improve your athletic performance. They are more necessary for building muscle, but going all the way up to 25-30% of your calories from fat should fit your goals without adding extra fat on your body. If there is anything that you want to go deeper into, if you have some follow-up questions, something is not clear for you, then let me know in the comments. If this video was very helpful for you, also please let me know. Like this video, subscribe, and you have a great day. I wish you all the success.